get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I'm drinking on something different. I'm drinking on 10 Ball Cocktails, Watermelon Smash. I tried this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I really do like this. I'm trying new things in 2023, and I saw this at the store, so I'm like, I'm gonna give this a try, and I like it. They have other flavors as well, but you know what? I'm gonna add this to the list. So I definitely would recommend this. Anybody looking for something different, give this a try. And of course, they have other flavors as well, so it doesn't necessarily have to be the watermelon smash. It could be the other flavors, but let's go and give it a try. And also, too, tonight's episode is sponsored by Joe Shakinab and Shakinab.com. Go visit Shakinab.com for services, monthly updates, and contact information. Once again, visit Shakinab.com, promoting leadership and scholarship. All right, so tonight's episode, we're basically going to talk about NBA All-Star Weekend, everything that happened NBA All-Star Weekend. It was a good weekend, wasn't a great weekend. I guess we could go and get into it. Of course, we all know the weekend pretty much starts on Friday and ends on Sunday. They have the Celebrity All-Star Game. You know, it's always fun to watch celebrities play basketball. A lot of guys can play. A lot of people can play. Men and women can play the game of basketball. And then you have those celebrities who are out there. You like, oh man, you can tell they just happen to be out there. I always enjoy watching the celebrity games because me personally, I like to see celebrities play because they're like out there really playing, right? Even though they can't play, you can see they out there trying. And that's what I appreciate about the Celebrity All-Star Game, trying. They have some guys that, you know, could play like Kane Brown. If y'all know who Kane Brown is, he is a country music star. You know, he's been in it before. I seen him play last year. Him and Jimmy Allen, both country music stars. You could tell these guys can play. So they also have who's that guy? Peloton. I forgot his name, but you know he could play as well. I mean, I really enjoy watching the Celebrity All Star Game. Of course, you know the rising stars. When you see the young guys get on the stage and they're playing, you know, you could tell they have something to prove, like they belong to be in the NBA, you know. But with all that being said, we got to start with Saturday night and end on Sunday at the actual All-Star game. All right. Saturday night. Everybody knows All-Star weekend, NBA Saturday night. That's where they have the skills challenge, 3-point shootout, and the dunk contest. So the skills challenge, you know, of course, you had the Antetokounmpo brothers, which Giannis didn't play, so they replaced him with Drew Holiday. The Utah Jazz team, and they have like the rookies. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of enjoy watching the stars, the skills challenge, right? Because it's more than just, you know, just shooting and dunking. It's like all these other things, right? Dribbling, passing, you know, go through an obstacle course. It's like an actual team, an actual team event in a sense, right? A 3-man team. And if I remember correctly, who won? I think it was the Utah Jazz, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Utah Jazz won the skills challenge with Lauri Markkinen, who was an All Star this year. Jordan Clarkson, probably, we could say like one of the best six men in the league. And who else? Let me see. Who else won this? So yeah, the Jazz team won. Colin Sexton. Yep. So it was Colin Sexton, Walker Kessler, and Jordan Clarkson. That's who it was. Lauri Markkinen was in the 3-point contest. So it was a great showing. You kind of like to see the home team win. You could tell these guys competed. Like they were really competing. That's what you like to see. You know what I mean? Sometimes pride takes over. You just want to beat the other team, and that's what happened. So congratulations to the Utah Jazz team winning the skills challenge. Now the 3-point shootout. It was some great 3-point shooters. Jason Tatum was in it. Halliburton was in it. Buddy Hield was in it. Marketing. Kevin. Was it Huter? If I mess up his last name, I apologize. I know his first name is Kevin. Who else was in it? Somebody else was in it. Either way it goes, it was Julius Randle was in it as well. He was in it. I don't think he should have. He was pretty much a replacement, but I don't think he should have been in it. But Damian Lillard, I mean, you could tell when he shoot the basketball, so it's like him and Steph, and I would put who else in the league? Like Clay. It's like it's so effortless for him, man. It's just like the way he put it on, like the final round, it was basically him. Halliburton, that first round, he put up 31 in that first round. So we kind of knew he was going to advance. I would definitely like to see, I thought Jason Tatum, I thought he probably had kind of like an advantage. At his height, he's like, 6'10", 6'9", 6'10". So when you at that height, you have an advantage because you don't really have to jump. In the 3-point shooting contest is basically all upper body, right? Because when you're going through the racks, right, you continue. If you do your normal shooting motion, like you're jumping off the ground and everything like that, you could get tired, and that means that the ball could come up short, could go long, things like that. So when you're a taller player, usually you have an advantage because you're not going to use as much elevation in that particular competition. So I thought him and Lauri Markkinen, I thought those two guys were going to have the advantage. But Damian Lillard came out, man, and I'm gonna tell you right now, he really put on the show. For those who don't know, he went to Weber State, which is not far from Salt Lake City. So he had his college jersey on, and he came on with the win, and it wasn't a surprise because that's Damian Lillard, and he's one of the best shooters in the game. Is he the best? No, we all know that's Steph Curry. He's in a whole nother category. I think when it comes to like, how they have tiers, like the players of all time, people have like, okay, Michael is tier 1, then you have the next tier and so forth and so forth. Steph Curry is like, he's in a class on his own when it comes to shooting. Now, underneath him, you could say they also could be tier 1, but they're just they're basically behind Steph Curry. To me, I'll put Damian Lillard in that category. I put Klay Thompson in that category. But the way Damian Lillard and these other guys, they put on the show, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what? I enjoyed the 3-point shooting contest, the most. And I'm gonna come back to this and I'm gonna explain why. But the way the league is now, it's all about shooting and everything like that. Guys could get hot, people get excited. So, and and I think who was it? Dwayne Wade. Dwayne, it was a celebrity all-star game. Was it celebrity all-star game or was it the actual 3-point shooting contest? They him and the majority owner of the Utah Jazz, who's relatively young guy, uh, competed for charity, which I always thought was cool. I always thought, owners should get more involved, especially if they're hosting the the All-Star weekend. I think they should be involved in things like that. So shout out to the Utah Jazz, for really being involved in this weekend. Now, with Damian Lillard winning the 3-point contest, Saturday night belonged to Mac McClung. Why do I say that? Well, he basically is the first G League player to win the NBA dunk contest. I think he might be the first to actually compete, if I'm not mistaken. He might be the first, maybe not, but he's definitely the first to win the NBA dunk contest. This was all about him, right? And this is what NBA Saturday night is all about, the All-Star weekend. This is what it's all about. It's about shining light on players who really need this weekend. Because, sometimes they might be in the league or they're going between the G League and the NBA. Mac McClung basically signed a two-way with the 76ers. So he came in this contest. To me, he was already the favorite because if you, like me, you're a fan of basketball, you go watch these like high school kids today, right? And you start seeing the highlights and you see them dunking and doing all this stuff. You saw what Mac McClung could do. We saw it in high school, right? We saw what he did in college. So when he got to this moment, you know he could get up there. I don't think people saw the creativity. I think that's what got everybody so excited. They didn't see that creativity from Mac McClung. And Mac McClung, he should have had 50s all across the board. There was one, he had like a 98, a 49.8, something like that. And we all know who the judge was. I'm not going to call the judge out, but he should have got a 50 on that one, all 50s on that one dunk. But he pretty much, over his career, he made like just over $100,000, right? Just that one night alone, he done made $100,000, right? So he's the type of guy I think goes to show you that if you have the opportunity to, even if it's in the 3-point shootout, it's the dunk contest, it's your moment. This is your time to actually build your brand in a sense, right? And he took full advantage of it. And every dunk he did, it was just, y'all got to go on YouTube and check it out, man. The dunks he did was just, and I knew he had bounce, but I didn't know he had bounce like that. That's the thing about it. I didn't know he had bounce like that. Right? Now you got a lot of people. You had some guys that was in that dunk contest that was just like, you'd rather watch paint dry. Personally, it was like, just because you're a high flyer doesn't mean you should be in this dunk contest. And but it was two guys that pretty much, did their thing. 2 out of the 4 guys did their thing, but one really stood out the most. And I'm gonna be honest with you, his dunks was better than the entire dunk contest last year, right? It was way better than the dunk contest last year. And so that's why I just think that, you should give guys that opportunity, to really, put their names out there, be on the map like that. But also too, I think that if you're a superstar in this league, right, I think you should participate. Because I would like to see, if I had my choice for next year's dunk contest, who I would like to see, I've already seen Zach LaVine. I've already seen Aaron Gordon. They don't need to do it what they did back in 2016. I mean, come on now. You can't beat that, right? Derrick Jones Jr., what he did, absolutely phenomenal. I would like to see Mac McClung defend his title. I would like to see Gary Payton II. I would like to see Ja Morant. And I'm trying to think who else could I put out there? Because everybody I named are guards, which is kind of crazy. Who else can I put out there that should be in there? Somebody could be in that. Somebody else. Y'all, so y'all put in the comments, or y'all, let me know who's that fourth person that should be in there. But to me, those are the three guys I would kind of like to see in the dunk contest next year. So, and I think they can bring it back. You just need like Mac McClung, he could bring that type of power back to the dunk contest. We all know what Gary Payton II can do. This dude, he got bunnies for days. So, and Ja Morant, he's one of the most exciting, explosive players in the league right now. So I think that these guys can put on a great show, and you could bring somebody else. I don't know who you want to bring in as a fourth, because now they've narrowed down to 4 players. So whoever else you want to plug in, you think will be excited, really excited to be, who would pretty much be exciting to see what they can do, make it this like a true four-man competition instead of just a 2-man competition. Just get that fourth person in there. Let's see what happens. So to me, Mac McClung won the entire weekend. Now let's talk about the loser of the weekend. The loser of the weekend is none other than the actual All-Star game that took place on Sunday. Team Giannis beat Team LeBron 184-175. So what that's telling me is it was practically no defense being played. It was just a crap show. It was truly a shit show to watch. Let's just call it what it is. It was something that it was hard to watch, right? You can't get excited about this particular game. Jason Tatum won the MVP, had an MVP record, All-Star record, 55 points, which doesn't speak volumes to me, because you had so many guys putting up and you gotta look at the score itself. It was not a very fun game to watch. It was not a very fun game to watch. Mike Malone, who coached an All-Star game, basically saying it was one of the worst basketball games he has ever seen, and things like Jaylen Brown even didn't like this particular game. I think the NBA has to be embarrassed about this. I think they have to be embarrassed, because this happened a few years ago. This what happened a few years ago, where the All-Star game was pretty much a joke. And this All-Star game was a joke, right? You got these guys. First off, it should be an honor to be an All-Star, right? It should definitely be an honor to be an All-Star. At the same time, you do want to give the fans a show. But when you go look at the past games, yeah, they gave them a show in the beginning. But at some point, they're playing real ball. And these guys didn't even play real ball, and I think that's what the fans were so upset about. You got some guys who like this. I'm like, you guys are not real basketball guys. You got some analysts on TV who play the game saying, oh, the game was exciting. Excuse me. It really wasn't exciting. Not to me. Because where was the competitiveness? Right? You're going against other All-Stars, those who play pretty much the same position as you. You want to prove to them that you're better than them, right? In a sense, because you might see some of these players in the playoffs. So you're like establishing now, like, you think you're better than me? No, I don't see that. So it was a crappy game. The draft, the draft before, the draft before the game itself was terrible. I mean, why would you do that? I think you should go back to the original format, East versus West, because to me, that would basically say this conference is better than that conference. And at some point, the pride would kick in and they want to actually beat each other in a game. Not saying you don't put on a show like in the first half, right? If you want to put on the show in the first half, go ahead. But in that second half, people want to see, okay, y'all, we trying to win this game. You know, I'm not really out here just trying to just do layups and all of that, because they were just letting guys just go by, everybody just walking, none but dunks and dunk layups, 3-point shots the whole game. No defense being played. It was just a terrible game. I think Adam Silver in the NBA needs to do something about this, because you can't lose fans. You can't lose fans over this, and nobody really wants to see the All-Star game if they're going to play like this. So, um, that's what I think. That's what should change. I think that's what should happen, and we'll see. We'll see going forward. Next year, it might be something different, because you know these players, they on social media, so they're hearing this stuff, right? They're hearing this stuff right now. So I would just say to the players, if you're going to be a part of this game and you're going to go against fellow All-Stars, yes, have your fun in the beginning, but at some point, you got to prove to them that I'm better than you. Because there's no way. Here's the thing. You know how guys, I hear analysts talking about, well, you know, these guys don't want to get hurt. You know, it's all about winning championships and all of that stuff. Let's call it what it is. These guys play harder during the summer, no fans around, than they did at this All-Star game. That's what it is. They play harder in the summertime going against other NBA players than they do in this All-Star game. So what's the difference in playing real hard in the summer and then in this All-Star game? I mean, either way it goes, you can't get hurt. So you telling me, like, what is the thinking process behind that? I don't know. I like to see a good game. If I want to see the best of the best, you know, yeah, give me a little show in the beginning, but at some point, you know, show your competitive side. No, do that, and then nobody will complain. The year that for this is back in 2020. This is right before COVID happened. Of course, you know, we had the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant. That game, that All-Star game, was highly competitive. If you go back and rewatch that All-Star game was competitive. I don't know what happened. I don't understand, but I think the superstars of the league have to set that tone. If you're not setting that tone, you know, it's like, why everybody else ain't going to compete? You're not doing it. You just out here just to be out here. You see what I'm saying? So I think they just gonna have to get it together, man, and just figure it out what they're gonna do and all that, because all that stuff could trickle down to the college players and to the high school players. You know, that's what I think is really sending a bad message to the college players and the high school players. So I would just say next year, whatever the NBA has to do, you know, make it right, because the NBA is superstar driven league. If your superstars, if they not out there competing like that, then it just waters down the product. That's the way I see it. So hopefully they could get it together and make things right. And we'll see. We'll see about it. If you want to go see the highlights, y'all can go see the highlights. But trust me, it's not worth watching. It's really not worth watching. So, yeah, that game was just trash. I started off watching it, and then it was just like, I'm gonna turn it off. I did not care what else was on TV. I was not watching that shit right there. Can't do it. It was bad. It was terrible, and the players should be ashamed of themselves because they're the ones playing the game. Personally, they're the ones that was playing the game, and they should. It should have never happened. If you was gonna have this type of game, I would rather have you guys play NBA 2K more so than playing an actual game. Team Giannis versus Team LeBron, NBA 2K, get it over with. Cool. Then watch that trash. So we'll see next year. We'll see how it goes next year, and then hopefully it'll be better. Because they do listen. These athletes do listen. So we'll see how it goes. Once again, man, y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. Also, man, new episodes are uploaded every Friday on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, is on there. Man, this is a journey right here, man. This is a journey. I'm having fun with it. Y'all continue to support. Tell your friends and family about it. If you have any suggestions, where I should try next, because, in 2023, I'm going to try some new things. Even though, my go-to drink is Crown Royal vanilla mixed with Dr. Pepper cream soda. I'm trying new things. Y'all probably saw me try the Crown Royal whiskey lemonade, which is amazing, by the way. It's amazing. And like I said, I talked about this 10-ball, this 10-ball cocktail, the watermelon smash flavor. So I'm trying new things. So if y'all have any suggestions, man, y'all leave a comment below, and I'll try, man. I'll talk about it on my social media pages, and we'll see if I like it or not. And if I recommend it to people, I'll let you. It's telling y'all that it's worth the try. So y'all just keep me posting on that, man, what I should do. And, I'll go out there and check it out. Until next time, everybody, this is your boy Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast, and we out. Peace.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.